Night of October 17th, the early morning hours, when Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson was found asleep in his vehicle, slumped over the steering wheel. Now,
well, a lie's a lie. He told me something that happened that night that turned out to be fundamentally different than what he had portrayed to me and what he portrayed to members of the public. Let me go back here to Marion. Yes, I met with him this morning and relieved him of his responsibilities as police superintendent. Accepting.
Thank you.
The mayor of Chicago has just fired the chief of police. The chief of police found drugged after a cocktail party, and it seems to have went downhill from there. And everything seems super suspicious in the wake of the Jussie Smollett case. Ladies and gentlemen, many people remember that case, of course, where they tried to fake a hate crime and pin it on the white guy and exploit that for political gain. They were trying to play the race card. It blew up in their face. And for the last, how many years have they been chanting, racist at people while watching their very own communities continue to plummet into some sort of third world shithole? Now, the question is, what is going on with this case? Many people want to know. Of course, Jussie Smollett was led off by Kim Foxx, the prosecutor. They're all linked to the Obamas, not only Hussein, but Michelle as well. And it's a very strange case. Another injustice, to say the least. Another Seth Rich, another WikiLeaks, another Julian Assange, another Epstein. What a year, 2019, ladies and gentlemen. Very controversial indeed. And this just, adds more fuel to the fodder of this war of good versus evil in our country. Here you've got these National Socialists basically attacking the chief of police, law and order, and probably going to some very dastardly extents to basically get rid of this chief of police that was fundamental in exposing the Jussie Smollett case. Here you're looking at video of the would-be attackers buying props for Jussie Smollett's show, and it was so close. I mean, they were so close at achieving their revolution, and when it all blew up, it was truly amazing. How deep does the rabbit hole go? How corrupt is this system? That's what everybody wants to know, ladies and gentlemen. And it certainly doesn't stop with the Jussie Smollett case or any of these other cases that we've mentioned, the Epstein case, the WikiLeaks, the Assange, etc., etc. The injustice is everywhere. People are being persecuted everywhere just for being a conservative or for just being, a regular American these days. If you're not a full-blown fanatic up for the left, a communist, a socialist, or, some LGBT Sodom and Gomorrahite, then you're obviously a target for this system. And that's exactly what this case proves. And it shows again what extent they're willing to go to basically, fight this war. Not only will they absolve themselves of any wrongdoing, but they'll come after the whistleblowers. They'll come after the police chief, the investigators, and the like. And we've seen this in numerous cases, not just the Smollett case, but the Epstein case. There were some detectives, at least one, that was killed. And there's always people that go missing when the crimes get exposed. I'm not sure how many people noticed the mayor from Chicago. She's got the shakes like that girl from the DNC debates, Amy from Minnesota, whatever her name was. And this must be the new EMF syndrome, kind of like in the movie Johnny Mnemonic. And they're showing it hardcore. We've seen this also with Elon Musk and a few other people in the higher ups. They've got the shakes. And where is this coming from? Like many of the other things that we're seeing out there today, it's coming from the eugenics programs, these death towers, these death towers, the vaccines, the fluoride, the pesticides, they're neurotoxins. Look it up. And, it's no surprise that life expectancy is going down. And we're seeing, more people with cancers, more people with cancers and autisms and the like. And, whatever's happening in this country, it's part of the program, part of the Agenda 21, part of that extermination program. And it truly is disturbing, to say the least. If you're just joining us, the chief of police of Chicago has been sacked after being found drugged in his car. Very mysterious circumstances. And it looks like somebody slipped him a Mickey or a roofie during a cocktail party. And we're just hoping that he would crash into something. Seems like he pulled over and was soon discovered by the police department. So they probably drugged him and tailed him. And then, the mayor just, came in and, said, "You're fired." And this is just like a couple weeks, again, before he's supposed to retire with his full pension. Literally, he's retiring. He was retiring in a couple weeks, and now they've just fired him. And, this is payback. That's exactly what this is. This is payback. Who are these people is the question, ladies and gentlemen. And in the last election for mayor in Chicago, you basically had two very similar profiles. I mean, they're like twins. It's just, one's a little, lighter shade, but absolutely the same profiles. Let's listen in to what they have to say.
She's open and honest about her LGBTQ orientation. I think it's really important in this country that we be respectful of differences.
Black, female, and gay, Lightfoot told us she personifies progress.
It's a whole different world out there.
I am a Chicagoan.
A Chicagoan.
I'm a Chicagoan.
We are each other's neighbors. And we are
each other's business.
Man, what world is this in? And they're like each other's business. I mean, this is like the whole precept of socialism. It's like the whole, Big Brother system is totally in control, and you're just, taking commands from the slavocracy, that pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. It's dangerous, man. And it's just getting creepier and creepier with these people from these big cities. It's so corrupt. It's so obvious. It's so treacherous. And, there's just no justice in America. Not just like, at the city and state level, but at the federal level as well. It's currently the situation looks truly hopeless when it comes to turning things around. Everybody is basically, rendered impotent thanks to the censorship and the lockdown at the Department of Justice and FBI and, throughout the media and, anything and everything that might be relevant to an investigation. They are completely, we're completely cut off from, justice in this country. It's rather sad. And it looks more and more like an occupation, like a National Socialist occupation. And, what these people have figured out is that it's easier to bring the gas chamber to the people than it is to bring the people to the gas chamber. And that's what we're seeing right now with these eugenics programs, with this Agenda 21. These people are out to destroy humanity. They're out to destroy the planet. They're out to destroy creation. That's what this is really about. This is a war of good versus evil. And these people, from the dark side, these people from the big cities, these agents of the devil, they're out there to try and destroy creation. They're out there to try and invert the world, call good evil and evil good. And they're a threat to us all. And right now they're basically in control of government, media, corporations. They own it all. And they've silenced everybody. They've basically turned the police departments, the prosecutors, you name it, into pawns in their scheme. And this is a threat to us all. It's only going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. We're all being held hostage by this cult of death, this cult of evil that rapes and molests children. You've seen, the various reports from, what's going on in the Boy Scouts and the schools and the like. They're all grooming and raping your children, and they're going after the whistleblowers. They're going after the police officers and those that might carry out justice in these cases. And it's just, a huge sinister cult, like, the Temple of Doom. That's what these people look like the cult members from the Temple of Doom. During the daytime, they're out there with their shirts and ties, and at night, they're, basically worshiping the devil, ladies and gentlemen. Creepy indeed. Many other news stories to cover, but this one certainly caught our attention. Jussie Smollett gets his revenge. Chief of police drugged and sacked in Chicago, and the real Justice Department is nowhere to be seen. Prosecutors have bailed. Everybody's, gone off the radar in this case, like the Seth Rich case, like the Epstein case. And it's just crazy. This is America now. You've seen that music video. This is America. It's their America. That's their America. Is that our America? Is that the America you grew up in? Did your town look like this shit? Like when you were growing up? Were people like this when you were growing up? Look at it now. Thanks to the television. Thanks to people like Rachel Madcow. Thanks to the mass indoctrination in schools. They're mass producing zombie clones that are just repeating the same sheeple shit everywhere. And they've been brainwashed into cult members. Literally, they're all, brainwashed into being militant atheist, devil-worshipping, zombies out there, just chanting the same shit. And if it's not, racist, then it's Nazi or something, some shit like that. But, these people literally look like they're from another planet. Some of them anyways. And I don't know, I think we'll just have to leave it there for this broadcast.
Well, a lie's a lie. He told me something that happened that night that turned out to be fundamentally different than what he had portrayed to me and what he portrayed to members of the public.
That sounds like hearsay. That bitch is lying. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.